bafuna ukuzifundisa ngamasiko futhi siyilokhu esikho we-Afrika siyazindla ngawe abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni bafuna ukusitshela ngathi amaqhawe ame emva kwethu bafuna ukuzifundisa ngamasiko futhi siyilokhu esikho we-Afrika siyazindla ngawe abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni bafuna ukusitshela ngathi kodwa ngeke sizwe olendawo inabantu bangempela amaqhawe ame emva kwethu bafuna ukusifundisa ngamasiko futhi siyilokhu esiyikho we-Afrika siyazindla ngawe abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni abantu bangempela igazi loqobo likeleza othulini nasekukuhleni bafuna ukusitshela
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anglers of all ages, look at that glow. Welcome to this week's Tackle Box, a very special stream. I am your host, JaxyBeard. I'm joined here today by none other than our very good friend Ben, who, if you missed the last one during Spain, it was quite an enjoyable and informative stream. Actually, Ben, did we not do it? Was it Spain and we did it on Norway, didn't we, bud?
We did it on Norway, indeed.
Yes,
if you don't know me, it is a pleasure and a privilege to be introduced to you. I am Ben. I am officially the story guy, narrative designer on the Angler, so I'm in charge with helping make all the locations, writing all the characters, getting information about the worlds and crafting those. but I'm also part of the design team, so I'm involved in all the fishing stuff you know and love, so can also talk a little bit about that. Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Such a pleasure to have you back out, my friend. And as you can see, folks, you got the brains behind it. We're going to pick his brain today. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're here on the new South Africa Reserve that is just released. If you haven't got it, it's available on all platforms. Get out there, get after it, join the fun and the madness that is our loving community. We're going to go and take a little bit of a tour. We're going to start off here right now. I'll show you where we're at. We're going to talk a little bit about things. We are at the Sunrise Country Club on the bottom of the map. Man, the vistas here, this is incredible, man. I had a chance to tour the reserve over a couple streams leading up to release. This was one of my favorite spots, but it's not just a spot to be looked at and adored, although you could do that all day long. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this and what it is to the game, because it's something a little different now than we've seen previously.
Yeah, exactly. When we kind of came up with this reserve, I think one of the core things we wanted was this kind of land war between four siblings who have been left this park by their late father. And so they're having like a little battle for territory. They've all staked out their little areas, they've set up their fishing spots, and they're trying to compete because they all think their style of fishing is the very best. And the Sunrise Countries Club is a bottom fishing club. So you'll be able to explore a few, missions to do with bottom fishing. The brains behind the country club is a guy called Fricky. He's kind of more Afrikaans focused, and he is going to be basically teaching you how to bottom fish, but how to bottom fish with style. Get some numbers on the social medias, do so in a way that kind of gets your swagger across. And that's the kind of guy he is.
Now, say his name again for me one time. That was
Fricky.
Fricky. Can I show this right now? You think it's too soon? I'd like to show this concept art, and we can maybe identify who we're talking about here. This is really well done. Let's go ahead. Pop this up on screen, my friends. As you can see, as we're going to reference some names, here they are. So, Ben, tell me, who is Fricky? Which top right, bottom right, top left?
Fricky's the top left in the kind of yellowy orange shirt with the chains.
Yeah.
And he's your guy. And then we also have Andile on the bottom left. We have Unati on the top right, and we have Talante on the bottom right. Okay.
I really like the setup on this. It's pretty cool that this is pulling us into the story chat. So essentially, as some of you may have discovered already, each one of these, these are the fishing clubs, and there's more backstory to them all, which kind of makes it a little more immersive. Well, he's done a nice job on this spot here, man. There's lots to explore. I can't wait to get into these missions myself. I'm sure half of chat's already completed them because I know how they work. They've been on since it released, and they're going like mad.
But I think I wanted a little bit of. Obviously, all of the siblings, are fighting over which of their style of fishing is the best. And I'd like to think the players could do a little bit of that themselves. Like, you should be able to dress yourselves in a little bit of it, and you can sling some mud. If you're a bottom fisher and you like Sunrise, then maybe you can diss some of the other clubs a little bit as well. Obviously not to egg on negativity, but I'm sure they'll do a good job, at that themselves.
Team versus team. I love it. We're going to get the clubs going against each other. Beautiful, man. Wow, look at this. I didn't have a chance to really poke around. It was a very quick look when we were out doing our thing, but the nice, I'd love to stay here. Honestly, what do they charge per night? Do you have that kind of info for me, Ben? And when can I get there?
I'm sorry, you're going to need a few more followers on social media if you're going to stay here. It's not a charity, Jaxy. Fricky's got a business to run.
I got a few.
Yeah. I can maybe have a word with him, see if he can fit you in.
I appreciate that, man. I needed that insight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. This is cool. I really cannot wait to get in here. Chat, let us know where you're starting off first, because I know you guys are going to be chasing these clubs and trying to advance as quick as you can. Take your time and enjoy it, and post some shots in Discord and tell us about your experiences. What do you think of these clubs? Isn't this kind of a cool approach? I kind of feel like we're going to have to go back to the other maps now, Ben, and add clubs. Look what you guys have done. Jeez.
Clubs are real cool. I think it's nice to be able to focus a little bit more on the fishing styles.
I agree.
Because obviously bottom fishing was one of our more recent addition, and I think as we start to do them more, it's only natural that people like to catch specific types of fish, do specific styles, and we're always trying to look for ways to really deep dive on the kind of styles you're going in on. I think the gear challenges do a good job of that too.
Can't wait to check them out. Nice. Okay, so now let's head up. I don't have them all unlocked, but I believe we're heading up over here. So let me fast travel. I'll jump into a Jeep and I'll start moving along. So while we're doing this, Ben, let me ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I mean, you've got your hands fully in the development of this. You from ground zero to here, seeing this come to life. If there's one thing about this new reserve, and this might be a tough one to answer, if there's one thing that you could choose, what is your, I don't want to say favorite aspect, but let's go with that for a lack of a better term.
I think one thing that I think really, that I use throughout all of the Angler, and I think really just tickles me, is how in spaces you never really get rid of anything. Like, people just constantly carry on what came before them, they repurpose it, they keep using it. And even though we have this dinosaur park that's been around since kind of the pre-apartheid in South Africa and rolling forward, it's been reclaimed, reused, and redefined as everyone rolls along.
Okay.
So you've kind of got this, the 4 fishing clubs are kind of in the middle of this dinosaur park, and I think that's a really, really fresh thing to have.
Yeah.
Just kind of different eras of the area, different people, different histories, stacked on top of each other bit by bit by bit. And you also have the bottom of that. We have like Eswatini artifacts, we've got things about the Esapedi, and like there's loads of different older peoples as well with an older history that well before the time of the dinosaur park. And I think we did that with a lot with kind of the Al-Andalus influence in Spain, when you had kind of like, the mosque churches or the older kind of Arabic things that have been built upon and now define modern day Spain. We had it with Norway when you've got kind of the old pagan or Norse aspects of things, and that gets layered on with the Christian and then the modern day Scandinavian. Like, you have these bedrocks, these layers of different people that build and build and build and build, and that to me is the juiciness. Like, I love that stuff. Yeah, if you had to ask me my favorite, it's that contrast. It's the older South African versus this kind of new kind of reclamation of the fishing clubs that we've got there. I love that.
I love it. You nailed it. And oh my goodness, rolling into this, like, if anyone's ever captured the feel of Africa, this is amazing. Like, I haven't seen all this yet. Just the blend of the modern architecture and the cool little, like, I mean, I know it's not bamboo, I don't know, just the wood post fences, and this is something. So tell me, where are we at right now? What is this? I didn't look at the name on the way in. I probably should have.
Yeah, could you look at the name actually? I'm trying to remember which one it is.
No problem.
Yeah, I think, is it Assegai or is it Shisanyama? It looks like Shisanyama, I think, but we can check.
Sorry. Wow. Oh, I can't wait to explore. Am I done work yet? Can I go explore?
Yeah. Okay, so this is Shisanyama.
Say it again.
And this is Shisanyama.
Sushanyama.
And
what you said?
Shisanyama. And it means kind of like hot meat. In kind of like a lot of Zulu cultures, and also in South Africa in general, there's a big culture around the braai or barbecuing. And I think as well, we wanted to kind of get a bunch of that across. The Talante, the head behind Shisanyama, he's a cook, and he's a lot more bothered about cooking the fish he catches rather than doing it for sport. So that's something a little different that we haven't really covered in the game before too.
Wow. Love the backstory.
Yeah.
This is... Jeez, okay, well, let's get a look here. So, we've seen the bottom fishing club. Which is this one?
I think this is float fishing. I'm pretty sure, but we can. I may be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it's float fishing.
Is what, sorry?
Float fishing.
Is float fishing? Okay. Looks like it. There is a float in the picture. Love that emblem with the elephant tusk, or the elephant in the background. That is awesome. That is awesome. Man, I almost feel like this is a real place that I need to go and visit. Look at this. Wow. Chat's probably already done this. I know a lot of folks in our community. They get just as excited as I do. They're probably out there exploring all this, seeing what rooms they can get into, and finding all the little spots, and they're probably trying to get on all the roofs. Okay, so
one thing the world design team has done this time around, which I hope people really appreciate, is in Spain and Norway as well. We had a lot of these really cool landmarks, but there wasn't any water next to them. So you could go and see the thing, but you couldn't really interact with it in the most base way, which is fishing next to the place that you want to look at. So I think the world team's done a really good job in snaking the waterways in and around every single one of the points of interest. So now you have a backdrop to what you're catching, rather than a cool thing that you see, which you then walk away from to go fishing. And I know it's a simple thing, but it's stuff you just don't think about until we hear the players and how they play the game. And it's something we're going to definitely try and work on more going forward. I think it's a pretty fantastic feature of the reserve.
I have to fully agree. Wow. I kind of want to fish. I know we're doing a tour, but it's so hard not to just drop a line in the water. I probably should have changed out of my Christmas gear too. I've still got it on. Oh my goodness.
You must be a bit warm.
Just a little toasty. It's the toque. It's the toque that's doing it at the end of the day here. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, give us a little backstory. So this one here was, which of the siblings runs this one?
This is Talante, who's a cook, and he's very busy running his, in the bottom right there with the apron.
There we go. Okay.
He's very busy running his pub, which at the same time is also running a float fishing club. And I think one of the interesting things about South Africa and how we've kind of designed it is there's a lot more fish farms, like obviously artificially stacked fish, and that means that we can actually make sure that when you're fishing around here, you can have a lot more success with a float fish setup than you would, at random other places in the map. Like we can stock it with fish that it's going to be a bit more effective for that. And I think that allowed us to really, hey, if you want to go float fishing, you should go float fishing here. And same with the other places as well.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. It's something we haven't done on the other maps. I mean, actually taking the approach, because when you look on the map, it kind of looks like a fish farm even. And I mean, I don't know, that may be a fish farm down there. So playing that into the story, I can't wait to do the story. Listen, I have to say something, Ben. I don't normally do storylines in games. I'm more the guy, I just want the meat and potatoes, and maybe I'll pour the gravy on after I've eaten half of it. But in the Angler, I feel I have to do the story or I'm going to miss something. Like, it's so well blended. And I know you've had a very, very big hand in that, and thank you for putting the time and effort, the passion, which I know you guys are hearing right now in his voice, into this. It shows, man. It really does, Ben. It really, really shows.
You're too kind. Like, I think one thing that I really try to do, well, we all try to do with the Angler, is I want kind of the main plot to be a bit of a light touch. Like, if you just want to go fishing, then you should just be able to go fishing. And I think that we're getting better of that going forward. But I'd like you to be able to walk past this location and maybe drink in a little bit of the story that we have built around it, Like, we're never going to trap you in a huge quest line about, something that isn't fishing related. But we hope that you can get the chance to earn yourself some nice gear in the process, and also engage with the characters a little bit more in the world, which I think is it's an exciting one. Like, South Africa's a lovely place.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And after spending the time in Spain, I think I spent more time, as I tried to progress through that reserve, just on the missions, and just really enjoyed it. But, that's something you guys have done well, even from the get-go, and with Golden Ridge Reserves and the Golden Tour taking us out and exploring it. I've seen how, as you're saying, it's, you've been able to add these little subtleties to it. It's difficult with an open world concept that hasn't been done before for fishing. But I think, honestly, watching everything progress and move here it's such a treat. I had to throw my line in the water. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be doing a tour, but I just had to. This looks too good. Like, it's literally made for me to toss my line in the water and waste my days. Waste is a very endearing term. There's nothing I'd rather do right now than sit here. Oh man, there we go. Okay, back to it. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. It's hard not to. But this is incredible. Like, so I want to see how these fishing clubs really progress, and here, and man, this is kind of neat with the way the water bodies are laid out. I really thought this was like a fish farm at first, and I love that. I love it because there's some spots here in BC where I live, Ben, that I took my kids when they were younger. It was just easy access. It wasn't any lakes. They were literally just little stocked ponds. Felt like a fish farm, not this pretty. And they loved it. It was their first experiences with fishing. My boy's going to be all over this, I can tell you right now. He's going to love this update. All right.
That's exactly it. Like, I think it's very accurate to how South Africa is, but there's a bunch of fish farms everywhere. Even in the areas in other reserves, like if you went to Wyoming, there'd be a bunch of fish farms there too. I think it's something that we can look at and we can use to kind of customize a lot of the fish we're putting into these reserves going forward.
That's great. Now, I do have to say, and chat, when we get a special guest out, I miss so much chat, and I do apologize for that, but I see what a lot of you are saying. And yes, one of the biggest things, and if you've missed this, or maybe you haven't got the update yet, you're stuck at work, and you're living your fishing fantasies with us here this morning or this afternoon or evening, depending where you are in the world. Some of the biggest things that come to this update that I really don't want to be foreshadowed is, well, for starters, we can now fast travel to our vehicles, which is great. But this is by far, I can't say my favorite part because I think South Africa takes that, but that right there. Just being able to go in to get into your storage in the trunk. This is probably the best quality of life feature to come to our game yet, Ben. I can't say enough about this. You and I both know, as does the team, it's been a big request from the community since release. And then, of course, that volume's never really died down. People have always asked, they wanted it. So I know it took some time to implement, but, again, and not trying to make our devs' heads too big, but round of applause for, listening to the community and getting that in there. I can only imagine what else is to come. Look at my Jeep, Ben. Like, look at this. It clashes with my outfit so much that I am in love. All right.
Yeah, I think the storage in the back of the Jeep, sorry, the 4x4, is it's something that I think we've had to kind of get our heads around over time. Like, I think you have all these theories about how players will play the game, and you kind of have an idea of, okay, this is how it would work in our heads. But it's only through, getting the chance to actually watch them interact with the game when you realize, okay, this is the kind of behavior that we want to encourage. This is the kind of thing that we want. Like, I think at the start of the game, I think we always had the idea that, people would want to travel back to the shop a lot more than they actually do in actuality. And I think this means that you can kind of sit outside, find your spot, and kind of get a lot more, to just stay out in the interesting parts of the world a lot longer, which I think it's a fantastic thing to have.
I agree.
It looks like we're just crossing the banana bridge right now.
Look at this. This is cool. I haven't seen this yet. Ooh, it's a fast travel location too. I could just stop here in the middle of the road and throw my line in that water. Absolutely. Like, it's, as with a lot of our locations in our games, they're inspired by real world places. Oh. Like even the Dino Park is a place in South Africa, in Mpumalanga. Oh. Which was kind of a lot of the inspiration. And the Banana Bridge is, again, if you were to do some Googling, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but that is another key location in the region that we've kind of used and inspired. And hopefully, if anyone's from South Africa, maybe they'll recognize and think we've done a good job. We do have some folks in our community from South Africa. They've actually been quite vocal with us and letting us know what they think, and I really can't wait to get some direct feedback from them through the Discord and all the streams and such here. Because to me, and of course I've never been there, but this feels like we have captured the essence of South Africa. This is gorgeous. Well,
there's one thing that I don't actually think anyone's mentioned it in the community is that we've got new versions of all of the vehicles, so they're they drive on the correct side of the road, which you aren't at the minute.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was drifting and falling asleep.
Yeah, of course. Not a danger to everyone here. But if you look, we've actually flipped where the steering wheel is, and we've got the correct use of the car. And that's that was kind of a little bit of a passion project by one of our artists here, and that involved basically cloning every single one of the 4x4s in the game to be flipped, and was a surprisingly difficult process as just a little quality of life whenever you're on maps that have left-hand side drive.
But now, shouldn't the steering wheel be on the right side then? This would be the same as Britain, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then maybe it should be then. Oh no, maybe that's something we haven't quite got back in.
Oh.
But,
Sneak peek.
Maybe.
There's a leak. We got a
maybe
leak.
I got that wrong.
I love it. I love it. It's okay. I do it all the time.
Yeah, standard. Well, we'll see. I'll pay for that one. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we didn't get it in.
Oh, this is cool.
But this is Assegai Groceries. So this is another of our fishing clubs, which is a grocery store that also specializes in spin fishing. And the Assegai is quite a famous thing. It is the spear of the Zulu. And the reason why it was named after that is because this club is focused on your gear. There's more like a gear focused, fishing rod, fishing reel, just gear focused thing. And the head of that, Andile, is really, really into their tech. So hopefully should be a bit more of a demanding spin fishing challenge for players.
Sorry. Just gonna grab this for later. I know it's a big focus for a lot of our players.
Yes, the tigerfish is a fantastic thing.
Oh man, it looks amazing. I can't believe the size of some of them. Like, very nicely done. There we go. Wow, this is cool. So there it is, coming up with my first gear challenge I've taken on the map. They want you to get with the spear or with the spinners, and this is great. So quite a different feel with these clubs too. I like that. It's not all. I mean, there's no copy and paste here. You guys have put the labor of love into this. I need to head all the way down there, I guess, hey? Down, to the bottom. Let's just go take a peek. I'm going to drive down. Wow, okay, so now this... Let me grab the portraits again. This is the fellow in the top right, I take it.
No, it's the lady in the bottom left.
It's the lady in the bottom left. What was her name?
Andile.
Adelaide. She looks like a character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think there's a quote that Lassetti says at some point, which is that if you want something fixed, you talk to me. If you want something improved, you talk to Andile. And there's someone who would, they're a bit of kind of a gearhead, like a whiz kid with anything mechanical, often found underneath a Jeep or a 4x4, and also often found spin fishing, which is what they'll be doing here.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. Faraz in chat says he's from South Africa. Amazingly done. Love the chosen points of interest. Faraz, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to every reserve. We do get a cultural consultant. This time around, we had someone on site there, basically who managed to be able to give us the lowdown and really help us with a lot of, did this feel accurate? Even small things like the color of the grass.
Okay.
Or like, any question that we had, we could send that over to them, and they really give us a handout. And I think going forward, I know anything Expansive Worlds, a cultural consultant will be involved to help making sure, okay, does this properly reflect where it is in the world? It makes me really happy to be able to work with, I don't know, with some of the best people in the biz to help us make something that looks and feels, well, hopefully, looks and feels good, because I've never been to South Africa, so we need someone who knows their stuff. And yeah,
wow, big shout
looking forward
out
to working with more in the future.
I think they've done quite well in consulting, but clearly, Ben, you and I are going to need to, for research and development, we're going to have to head here ourselves just to make sure it's accurate.
Of course, yeah.
Quality check. We'll call it a quality check trip.
Yeah. Everyone, please buy the reserve so me and Jaxy can go to South Africa. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll send you back a souvenir.
So this is really cool. Now, So we have a fast travel point up top there, and we have a fast travel point down. Oh, this is just getting down to business. I love it. I love this. Is that? Or am I not? Yes, it is. Wow, fantastic. Oh, this is cool. Look at the
And so
detail.
you see on the little notice board to your left, we've seen the return of the gear challenges, which were something that was very popular in Spain. We've evolved them a little bit to kind of loosen up the line requirement. Because I think one thing that players found very restrictive was the very precise line requirement on these. We've started to loosen those up a little bit, so we are learning and seeing what kind of things people like going forward, and I hope everyone will give them a go and really, lock in with having a challenging fish fight with this kind of thing, because people really seem to like them, I think, on the whole. But there's obviously a lot of stuff we can improve about them too.
I think that's a good point to take a moment for everybody in chat and everybody who's watching right now that contributes to this community. We're advancing to where we are because of you guys. With your feedback and with your passion, you can hear it firsthand here in Ben's voice. I mean, they feed off that. They take that information, that love, and your playing habits, and it just keeps improving. This is so picturesque, Ben. I can't get over these waterfalls on this map. I mean, we saw some really nice waterfalls. Let's face it, Golden Ridge, great location, some great waterfalls. We saw some real majestic peaks come out with Norway and some big waterfalls. Some gorgeous waterways in Spain, the caves and such. But this map, the waterfalls I've seen here, I mean, it feels like destination. Like you could just go and lose yourself in the waterfall for a day, word IRL. I'm dying to get up close and into these things if I can. Can you drive into any of them? Can we take our boat right through? Do you know?
I'm not sure you can drive through them, but you can definitely get close. We have one of them will be called the First Breath, and the other is called the Last Gasp, which are the two big waterfalls in the reserve.
Okay.
Hopefully, if you get close enough, you should be able to see a fast current, which may or may not play into some changes that we've made recently with the float. It's a bit exciting, but maybe talk about that later.
No, do say more. So I'm going to head over to this waterfall now. You said that.
Well, exactly, yeah. Well, a bunch of our floats in the game now have different kind of buoyancy and weight attributes, which means that when you're float fishing, you should be able to, depending on your choice of bobber, you'll be able to get a very different behavior in terms of how your float's moving. And that's not all bad. Like, I think some players have been this is kind of negative, like, I'm going to lose control of my float. But actually, you can get outside of the castable distance if the current takes you there. And that unlocks a lot more things that you can actually fish at. I think there's going to be a lot more creativity and expression in terms of how players can use that float fishing. And I think it's realistic and it's exciting. So I hope players will really get a good kick out of it.
Oh, look at the waterfall pushing me away. Oh, that's so cool. Look at the mist.
Yeah.
You can tell our artists are having too much fun.
They're doing such a good job with this. It's such a pretty map.
I have to try it. I apologize.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes! What? No way. Oh, I broke it. Oh no, I really did break it.
I'm not sure it should have done that, Jaxy.
I should have done it.
Fast travel.
Oh no. Oh, I have broke it.
I think you're going to reach the top soon.
Possibly.
Oh no.
What did I do?
Well, so everyone, you can purchase Azula's Ascendura now from all the places that sell good. Oh, there we go. That's fine. Cool. Good job.
Okay, nothing to see there. Move along. Oh, look at the pretty colors. That's my bad. I am terrible. I tend to break things. That's my wife will actually, show a little confirmation on that one. I break things around here all the time too. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. That was awesome. I can't wait to explore these clubs. So we've been to 3 clubs now. We've actually made our way around. We've worked them all out here. We've been through. We've seen some of what that is. You know where I want to go right now, and I don't have a clue where it is, Ben. I want to go see those pretty lights.
See those pretty lights. Where are you off to?
I want to go to the cave. I want to go to the cave.
Okay, I think. Let's have a look. Wasn't it in the bottom right, perhaps? Or one of the caves? Let's see. Actually, is it this one here? What's that the purple thing there?
This here, that's the dam.
That's the dam.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure where the cave is at the minute, so I think that's something that I should have. But I can have a quick check.
That's
if
no
anyone in the
problem.
chat knows, that would help us out. But I'm quickly going to look at my map on my side.
Do we want to maybe instead? Are we allowed to go and look at the Cradle of Man? Is that what was the name we settled on that one? I think it's Cradle of
The
Mankind.
Cradle of Mankind.
Yes.
Which is a little distinct from the Cradle of Humankind.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, caves are on the left of the map. So we can go take a look for them if you fancy that.
Let's see where we going, guys. Yes, the Disco Caves. That's right. No rave cave. That's what the Discord came up with. Nice, nice. I don't have the fast travel point right now, Aaron. No. Let's see. I'm just looking for yes on the left side for where, my friends. Give me some directions on where I'm heading here. I've got 2 fast travel points that I think will work with us, either the main hub or I'd go from here. Is it somewhere on this side? Where am I headed?
I guess we could maybe take a trip through the Dino Park.
Yes, you want to talk? Actually, that's a great idea.
Because one thing that you can do is if you would go up and if you go and have a chat with one of the dinosaurs.
This is something that I picked up right away. You know, when you go into a zoo or any public exhibit and you have those almost cheap speakers that sound like they're from the 80s played, and you guys nailed it. You nailed it. I love it. I walk in like these guys right here. These ones, you know what I mean? You walk in and it's got that ambiance. Makes you feel like you're legitimately here. This is awesome. Okay, let's hear what this says, guys.
The T-Rex roamed the planet during the late Cretaceous period, 65 million years ago, in what's now the USA and Canada.
So if you want some dinosaur facts, we have about 10 per dinosaur,
The T-Rex
along
was a
with
carnivore, feasting
some contributions from the siblings as well, which is something a little fun, like Rossetti, the warden of the park. She likes her dinosaurs, and so we've kind of decided to load them up a bit with some performances from her.
It's a nice little
The
touch.
Triceratops had a hard, parrot-like beak it used to clip off tough vegetation.
I could just listen to her accent all day long. You know that? I just love it. Man.
Yeah, I was so happy with the landing all the actors we landed. Really, I mean, it's quite a
This dinosaur had
it's quite a
only 2
difficult thing,
genuine
especially
balls.
when we're
A
operating
third
here in
was
Europe.
shot
The dev team,
at the end of its
it can be difficult to really get good authentic actors. But I'm really happy with the ones we managed to get. They did a fantastic job.
Oh, they absolutely did a great job here. It's that feeling. I feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm here. It's I just love the accent.
So I saw in chat someone is asking for some background on the Rave Cave,
Yes.
which I can talk a little bit about. But maybe we should talk about the dinosaurs first.
Yeah, let's go through the dinos while we're here, and then I'm gonna head over. I see chat's giving some directions, so I'll head over there momentarily. Give us a little backstory on this. You said this is it's based off an actual location in South Africa, an actual dino park of sorts.
It is indeed. It's very loosely based off the Sudwara dinosaur
Okay.
park in Mpumalanga province. That also is very famous for the Sudwara caves, which is the reason why we have so many caves on this map. But it is a dinosaur park that, I mean, it was built just to impress and amaze local children, and also, generally, the real life version is actually really well maintained. Like, I think if you thought Dinosaur Park in the middle of nowhere, you would have thought it wouldn't be that nice of a location, but it's gorgeous. And this was kind of built pre-apartheid as an amusement park for children and anyone who likes dinosaurs, really. And afterwards, it was kind of reclaimed and given to Rossetti's father, who had spent his entire life kind of building these dinosaurs, was madly in love with the dinosaurs. And as a result, he didn't really get the chance and the time to spend as much with his children as he would have liked. I mean, he was building his his legacy there in one form or another. And now it's come round to it. The 5 siblings have in turn inherited the park and have kind of split it up. 4 of them have made fishing clubs, and Lesedi is running the Central Reserve Outpost. And she's more in charge of maintaining the dinosaurs and the caves, and everyone else is off fishing somewhere. And you bet there's a little resentment there. But eagle-eyed listeners, or eagle-eared listeners, will have maybe heard me talk about 4 clubs, and we've only been to 3.
Oh.
Well, maybe they can keep being eagle-eared and try and figure out where that 4th club is, because that's kind of fun.
Something for our,
Great time to drop by.
let's say, our more passionate fans to start putting your head into. Okay, you gotta introduce me. There is so much character breathing from this woman. I know you have a backstory here. You've mentioned her. She's here looking after the Dino Park. She's our shopkeep and our warden, right? Including warden. She's wearing hats of many trades. I love it. By the way, I think this is probably our best looking bait shop yet. I gotta be honest. I don't know why. It feels like a bait shop. Actually reminds me of a little shop at a place I go to by Island 22, if anyone knows British Columbia. There's a little bait shop in this little camping resort, and it doesn't look as good as this. It doesn't have the color and the flare, but it actually looks like this. And when you walk up to the window and everything's all hanging, and you got to ask for permission to see stuff. Tell me a little bit about her if you've got something there, Ben. That's I think she's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Lesedi is, she's kind of the reason she's both a warden and a shopkeeper is because no one else is really giving her any help. Everyone else is away having their little turf war and fishing, and they've kind of left her to deal with everything else. So she is a very kind of positive and a very uplifting and positive person, I think. But she's not someone who can be pushed around. She doesn't take any
No guff.
any rubbish. She doesn't take any rubbish from her siblings at all. And I think that's she manages to pull them by the ear and get them to help out whenever she really needs anything done. She's someone who's inherited their father's love of dinosaurs and absolutely adores them. And she doesn't really know that much about fishing. I think that if you actually mouse over her fishing rods and ask her for some advice about what to buy, she won't have a lot to tell you. She can probably be like, it's long and it has some string on the end. But it's not something that I really know too much about. Because, her area of expertise is dinosaurs, but she has to run the shop because, well, you gotta do it. You gotta make some money, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Well done, man. She's kind of cute. Don't tell my wife. Wow, this is awesome. This is. I can't believe we're finally here on release day.
At least the Dino Park is ours
These
now.
things drag for me leading up to release. The community's been so excited, and getting this kind of backstory, guys, it just makes it so much more immersive. I got to be conscious of time. I want to get to these caves, and we're losing daylight here. So. I'm told bottom left. Don't think I can fast travel to him. Probably best just to go from here.
Sure, we'll go for that.
Awesome.
I think the thing about South Africa in general and Mpumalanga is there is a huge amount of different languages, different people, incredibly different cultural identities, and I think it's really difficult to try and capture that all.
Yes.
Even going into this reserve, when we made Spain, I had 15 different Spanish people, like a football team of Spanish people who could help me in the team and, really make sure I was doing everything correctly. But it's when we go for South Africa, which language do we pick? Which identity do we pick? Do we use Afrikaans? Well, that's got a lot of history to it as well. I think it's really difficult I think more than any other reserve we've done, it's been really, really challenging to try and nail down how these people look, how they feel, what they do. And I think that the kind of motive behind the fishing clubs is I wanted to capture 5 different types of people, 5 different kind of identities of people, and although they're kind of fighting over the land, they're fighting everything, they do come together. They do realize that actually they have a lot more similar than they do different. And I hope that we've started to capture just a little bit of what makes South Africa really, really special. And it's a tall order, but I'm really happy to see people who are from Mpumalanga say, hey, we've managed to nail a little bit of it. And that's entirely down to the cultural consultants giving me such a lot of help. They've been pretty invaluable in helping steer me and make sure that I'm not doing anything wildly inaccurate, you know?
It's to see this all come together. I understand exactly what you're saying too, and I think Chad's picking up on it. With every single new reserve we visit, you can see the love and the care to capture not just the area but the people and to pay homage. It is a salute at how beautiful this is in South Africa. Look at my screen, Ben. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's breathtaking. Oh, you guys are killing me. I leave. Last stream we did, I left the stream and I was grinning from ear to ear. Just the experience, like just driving. I had to stop at one point during the middle of the stream, just pull over the side of the road because it was a sunset just like this and just soak it in. I love it. Look, there's a watchtower up in the distance. I don't know if I'm going the right way. Am I going the right way, chat? I think I need to go up here. It's someone said the third, assuming here. That's what I'm aiming for. Road.
Well, we can find something along the way.
I don't doubt it.
A nice sunset, I guess, as well. But
this,
the lighting is super different.
I've got to be straight. I'm gonna need a rifle and a kudu running across my screen here. You guys have nailed this Africa. I don't even know what to say. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I can't wait to throw my line in the water. If anyone's trying to reach me after stream today, I will be, for researching purposes, here on this map. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Is there any signs that are going to help us? No.
Not yet. Yes. Although some interesting locations I can see as we're going past, like just looking in the distance. What's that over there? There's a story to be told around every bend. Ben.
I should hope so. There's a lot of really nice things for us to be able to paint and a lot that we didn't quite get done. But I think it's obviously I think a lot of people focus on South Africa. They think the kind of fish that we have available to us as well. And we had a lot of requests for different fish that we didn't quite get around to. Like obviously we've got the big headliners for this reserve. You've got the tigerfish, the mottled eel. What else we got? We've got a bunch of kerpas, a bunch of rabios.
The grass carp. Those are one of my personal favorites.
Carps. And the return of the mirror carp as well, which is a chonker.
Yes. Such a good looking model too. It's great to have it on another reserve. Slightly different. It's beautiful. Where am I going here? Is this it? Is this the one?
Maybe. Let's see. Has chat been helping us? 2 more up from there, says Aaron.
Third orange road. Oh, right here? Oh, is it that little spot right there? Okay, we're almost there. Oh, this is the Cradle of Mankind.
Well, we can talk a little bit about this. This is the remains, the cradle of humankind in real life.
Humankind, yes.
This is mankind in our game, but the real life location is the site of the oldest remains of a human found in the world.
Hence the name. That makes sense.
So you can learn a little bit about. We have, as with all of our reserves, there's a little snippet of some history when you take a photo, and you'll be able to learn a little bit about what's in there and maybe do some research in real life if you want to have a bit of a look. But I think one thing that I really like about this location is all the water near to it. You can catch some fantastic fish right next to one of the most important landmarks in the area, which I think is a nice little change.
I'm really glad you guys added this, just having that tie-in to, although, slightly changed name, and it gets the point across. And I wouldn't be surprised that anybody finds himself in South Africa, they're going to go and look at some of these landmarks, and specifically this one, because That gets me. I'll tell you right now. I'm a history buff. I absolutely love it, and I'm gonna not spoil it any further for anyone who wants to check it out. You can see it's on the map here, right where I am right now. So
yeah, big shout out to Aaron is saying there's a little red road at the end of the orange road, northwest of the little pond. Yeah, this one.
This here?
I think. Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't. This just brings me into the cradle again. Okay, so I'll spin around, go back that way. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you, sir.
Yes, thanks, Aaron.
Good to see you, by the way, man.
There's also someone has found the fourth club and they're asking why it's in Dutch. I think that I would advise you to have a little look at the history of South Africa if you want to know why it's in Dutch. But it's supposed to be in Afrikaans. So that's kind of is one of the only clubs we have that's in Afrikaans. And if you're going to go have a look at it, you'll see it's under construction currently. So there's no missions for that club yet. But you know, never know. They might finish building it one day. Who knows? But for the time being, we have the 3 clubs that you can kind of do missions for, and then a 4th club currently under construction.
4th club. I wonder. What do you think, my friends? 4th club.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some kind of pattern with the other clubs. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't think anything makes sense. Well, here we have a cave. I'm not going. I'm normally pretty good with the pronunciations, but we don't
I'm not
have this
even
one
trying.
first,
Yeah, no, there's
so
no,
I'm not so sure.
no chance on me saying that. I'm terrible. I can barely pronounce my own name. Okay, here we go. I want to go see this. This is so cool. Where do I go here? Oh my god. It was really hard not to go and poke around in here while this was in development, because, man, I love this stuff. Check it out. Now, chat, if you haven't heard or seen of this, I don't want to give any spoilers, but this is quite the location. And if you saw what we did over on Spain, well, you have a little bit of an idea, except the lighting. This is what got me when I saw this. You guys were, oh man, this is cool. Now you can see, this is where you're going to find your eel challenge. You can get a nice little pick and stuff going on here. I'm not going to do that right now. I don't want to give a spoiler because I know a lot of folks were very interested in this. That is gorgeous. Oh.
We had a few people who were interested in the background of this, and again,
Yes.
this is another kind of fictionalized version of a real-life existing location. In the Sudwala area, there is a lot of Sudwala caves that are incredibly old caves in South Africa that have a lot of history associated with them, and also live music concerts. And
no way! Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
it's crazy. There's some absolutely fantastic stuff there. I was really happy when we were talking to the voice actor for Lesedi, and they were saying that they had been to these caves that we were kind of modeling in the game, and knew them well. Like it was really, really refreshing, I think. And yeah, so I think if you're we've obviously in real life they don't have this much water in them, and so we kind of obviously, as we do with all these things, we take the real thing, we put it through the lens of fishing, because what are we doing in this game other than fish?
There, yes. Well, and I think our folks would appreciate that. At the end of the day, it's a game, and through our storytelling, we can base off of something IRL, but yet make it our own. And I, for one, am very glad to have another cave system to be able to fish in, because let's face it, on Spain, it's one of the most alluring locations for folks. And there it is. My first one's a common carp in the cave. Check me out. I dig it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people seem to really love the caves. We had that first cave in Norway, and I think we got a little hooked, and then made caves in Spain, made caves in South Africa. Yeah. Oh,
sorry.
I've used that one far too often.
It's okay. You reeled me in on that comment, so I thought.
Oh, that was bait, Jaxy. But I don't know. I think you also said alluring earlier as well, didn't you? That's very naughty. But yeah, I think we have managed to get the caves nailed down. Like, it was the actions of one person in particular who made after Norway that you could fish in caves, and we've got really addicted to it since. So maybe it's best we take a bit of a breather. Maybe no more caves for a little while. You've had enough caves, or maybe we keep going with caves if you really love them. I don't know.
Cave DLC, just a cave DLC.
Oh yeah, well just ship caves.
Norway was a tease with the caves. When you walked in there and you see that troll standing there, it's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is awesome. And then to get it on, as we did on Spain, that was something else. Oh my goodness, what have I just landed here, Ben? It's
like a bit of a big one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly a fishing stream, but I can't help it.
Flippin' heck, this one's really giving you a bit of trouble.
That's okay. I dig it. This is what I love about our game. It's the fights. I actually have some pretty heavy gear on here too at the moment, considering. Well, I guess it depends what I have online, but it's not starter gear. Come on now. Oh my goodness, he is really giving her.
Yeah, you're getting taken to the limit here.
Oh jeez. I cannot believe. Wow.
Wow!
We've 8 minutes
taking
left.
It's taken 9. Oh, you're not gonna get it.
I don't think I will in the 8-minute time frame.
Oh.
I can't believe how quick this has gone by, Ben. It is. I love having you out. I love this kind of backstory. I mean, us as players, as gamers, we get out there and we immerse ourselves into the games. But actually getting, someone like yourself who, like, you've got your hands in all of this, and the amount of love and attention, the detail that you put into these reserves, it just keeps getting better. To be able to get that kind of insight from yourself, I hope you enjoy. I think you do enjoy coming out, because this will not be the last.
No, absolutely. For anything that releases in the future, if it has some story stuff on, I will be more than happy to come here and chat about it, because, I think it's the tip of the iceberg. Like, it's not just me who's responsible for crafting story or being responsible for story. Like, if there's a UI element that's different, if there's a piece of terrain that's different, if there's anything that tells a little bit of a story, those people are storytellers too. And the entire team is involved in trying to, sing from the same hymn sheet. We're trying to tell the same stories. So getting the chance to kind of amplify some of that and explain it, even if the players just touch it, they just experience the outside, they scrape the surface. A lot of thought from a lot of people has gone into making this thing. And, yeah, I hope everyone appreciates it.
Well said. I think you do. What do you think, chat?
I think maybe Jaxy's hooking a legendary.
Ooh.
No, there's none of those in the map yet.
No, not yet. And as folks do know, this is how, to ensure that everything goes, to our standards, we have to make sure that we release the map and that everything goes well. That the souvenir shop and the legendaries are always close on the heels. I don't really think there's much you can say about that right now, is there, Ben?
No.
The green light.
No. If you like hunting for legendaries, stay tuned. I'm not going to spoil what they are or where they are or what they're going to be, but please do stay tuned for things like the souvenir shop and the legendaries, which will be things that we tend to release after a reserve. So please do keep your eyes and ears peeled for any information that our social media will release on that topic in the future.
Absolutely. You heard it here first, folks. There's going to be more coming down the pipe, as you would expect. Oh, I'm going to get this guy. I'm tiring him out. Working him in here. Watch, it's going to be a silver. No way with this fight, man.
Flippin' heck.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I mean, this is actually what my boy was talking to me about when he started playing this, was because I had him on a couple of the other ones. He likes fishing. He's outdoorsy like me. And he raves to all of his buddies. He's like, the fight in this game, he calls it his dad's game. It's like, my dad's game has the best fish fighting.
Oh, what a cutie.
I tell him, I'm like, you're too kind, son. I could not do what our talented devs do. I don't, man, the way you guys pull this off. There it is. We got a silver carp.
It's a silver. It's a silver.
Hey, carps are chonky boys, but nonetheless, that was a lot of fun.
That was fantastic. It really gave you something as well. Man.
Yeah, sure.
How long did that take you?
It was a good 4 or 5 minutes there, I would say. We were talking through part of it. Yeah, not bad.
And at 25 degrees as well. I mean, that's got to mean something, right?
Oh, you didn't just do that. What? Okay, we're gonna stir the pot a little here. As you can see, we don't miss anything that you guys are talking about. I know a few people who just walked away.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's a chunky calf, and yeah, I love getting that kind of size as a thing. Like you've got some pretty good gear on to get that kind of fight from a silver. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, imagine the kind of fight a diamond's going to give you.
Well, I will say we saw this when Spain came out. When we first got on the map until we saw the next set of gear come our way. It was a big challenge. And now we're seeing that. I think we will see that. I've already seen some folks this morning getting on South Africa saying the same thing. There's a lot of fish that our current gear setup. It's a challenge. It's doable. It's all very doable. But it's if you want those big boys, you want those big chunky fish, you're going to have a fight that I just personally don't think you're going to experience anywhere else. So get after, my friends, and make sure to share those fights on our social media and our Discords. I'd love to hear about it. But I guess that kind of opens the door of could be more stuff to come in the future. Almost like it's a work in progress. Hey, Ben?
Absolutely. Like we're not just looking at this game in the short term. This is something that we're going to keep evolving. We're going to keep adding to. It's a labor of love from everyone involved. And we can only make this kind of thing from input from all of you. So please, make sure you're submitting your things to the Discord. You know, we've got a lot on our plate, but we do read them all. I hope you can see your feedback materializing into the things that we do add in the game, like the storage in the jeeps, like the fast travel. It does make the game noticeably better with every single thing you post. And likewise, if you've got any comments for me, any questions about story stuff, anything you got to say, please just whack them in the Discord, and our lovely social media team will be able to reply and give them to me. It's fantastic. Please keep doing it, and please do more of it. You make the game better.
That's fantastic. I love it. Ben, well said. Well said. It's almost like a letter to the community. But you guys, you hear it from me all the time, and now you're hearing it from Mr. Ben himself here. Just keep up that passionate feedback and keep it coming. I realize at times you may think that what you're asking for has fallen on deaf ears, but as you can see, these things just take time for us to flesh out, to work out, to cook it up, as Gaz likes to say. And so there is a lot more planned to come in the future for the angler. I love the trajectory we are on right now with folks like this behind the reins. It's nowhere but up to go. I would like to say, guys, if you like seeing our devs coming out here and talking to you on this one-on-one format, getting involved in our Discord, there's times like this when things are so hectic and they have to focus on things like, they're fixing bugs and they're trying to find what's going wrong. Let them know in the Discord. Let them know that you appreciate them. Let them know in here and on the socials. They're human too, and we all appreciate everything they're doing. Ben, we're out of time, dude. I can't believe it. Like, whenever you come out, time evaporates. Thank you.
Well, let's hope that we can maybe chat before the next reserve. Like, hopefully we can, I can drop by on the stream and, wax lyrical about some business a little bit before, because it's too long of a wait to be back here and to chat with yourself. So let's do it again soon. Just
come on out with me and get some fishing done. I go out with the community every Wednesday. When we don't have a release, it's just a big fish off and we have a blast. And I cannot wait to drag all of our friends out onto this reserve. Who are we kidding? By the time I get out next week, they're gonna have all the dimes slotted out where they all are. They'll be looking eagerly towards the souvenirs and the legendaries, which are not far away. My friends, thank you all so much for joining us today. We appreciate you all. Enjoy the new South African Reserve that just released today across all platforms. Go and get involved. Come and get involved in the Discord. Make sure you've hit the follows and you've followed all of our socials. Don't miss out on any informative and fun stuff coming down the line, because we got a whole lot planned. Ben, once again, you're an absolute legend, my friend. Thank you so much. I loved having you out. Can't wait for the next one. And everyone, a big round of applause. Thank you, Ben.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you when I see you.
Awesome.
Have a good time fishing.
I'll see you soon, actually. I'm going to be on your shores in a couple weeks' time. Okay, here we go. Catch you later, my friends.